bust down. 30 down. 50 100 I'm down. I keep high up. Yeah, it's my decorating. Well, damn. Joysticks like PlayStation. Like station. Can't keep my waiting. My impatient. Whoa. Remix. In the base.
It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. Capital One Arena in our nation's capital. Tonight, the Washington Wizards taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves begin the game with the basketball. T. 4-3. And that's the start they wanted here on the road.
Execution is everything. I love the sharpness and precision they came out with in that first possession.
Wall across the timeline. They're down 3. Beal guarded by Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. Huge block. That's out. Last touch by Karl Anthony Towns. Beal. To Anthony. The Wizards with 4 to shoot. Anthony. Count it. Three-pointer is good. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
For 3, shot off the mark. Good defense.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
It's Minnesota basketball. To DiVincenzo. Sizing up the defense. Beyond the arc for 3. No good. That's great defense.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Deep 2 there. Won't go. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. It's good. Defense has to pick things up.
He showed that he had great chemistry with his teammates on that shot. Keep getting him good looks, and the one will just keep scoring.
Anthony, defended by Jeff Teague. Iguodala's shot, no good. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. That ends the first quarter. The Timberwolves have the lead. One quarter in the books. This has the potential to be a good one.
I know you're wondering why I'm clapping. Both teams came out in the first quarter, and they executed. When do you ever see that, Ed? You have to continue to bring those competitive juices into the second quarter, and we're going to have one heck of a ball.
The follow won't go either. Has a chance. Not that time. Wall with it up top. Down 3 to Anthony. Here comes the screen. Wall matched up with the former Wildcat. There it is, John Wall. He's finally on the board, makes his first shot. What do you see in John Wall's game, Jay, that sets him apart?
That he could probably finish with his left hand better than he could finish with his right. I remember watching him in high school. He was jumping off his right foot and dunking the ball lefty as if it was that easy. He can do it with both hands, which makes him way more efficient around the rim.
Wall in the front court, down by 1. Jordan Bell picked up by Carmelo Anthony. Jumper's good.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Creates his own shot there.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Washington basketball. Here's Wall for 2. Won't go. He needs some luck on his side given how they're defending.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Wall defended by Towns. Off the assist.
The assist from number 2, John Wall.
He'll let one fly from half court. That's it for the first half. The Wizards out in front.
Thanks, fellas. Jalen here with your halftime report. The Wizards are in a tight battle after 2 quarters, and they've been showing off some excellent shooting, and it's ultimately points that win games. So if they can keep this up, there's a great chance they can finish with a victory. These are the guys getting buckets for the Washington Wizards.
Game track. Assists.
We're seeing unselfish basketball in this matchup, with each team turning good shots into great shots. These squads really know how to let it flow.
Player of the half.
I'm ready to skip ahead and just get this guy player of the game. You can tell he's on his way to a special game.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here's our top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Wizards with the basketball. Wall to Anthony. Here comes the screen. Iguodala to the basket, but his shot won't fall.
And when you miss so many chippies right around the rim, you look at their points in the paint production. First half, they were great. Second half, not so much.
Into the front court comes Wall. His group now down 2. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on a defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Andre Iguodala at the line for a chance at a three-point play. 71% for his career. Got it from the line. Teague with the basketball. His guys now trailing by a point. Cleans it up. Offensive board. Karl Anthony Towns. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Wizards have it. To Anthony. Karl Anthony Towns snatching it out of the air.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
And strokes it.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Karl Anthony Towns able to recover with the block.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
DiVincenzo from long range buries it on the catch and shoot.
When a rookie starts to believe that he not only can play, but more importantly, he belongs, nights like this become more and more common.
Into the front court, it's Wall. The deficit is 6. To Beal. Wall. Baseline drive. Karl Anthony Towns sends it away. That's out. Last touch by Karl Anthony Towns. Wall. That ball's out of bounds off one of the Wizards. Minnesota at the controls. To Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Tough shot and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul. Straight on 3 at the buzzer. That ends the third quarter. It's the Timberwolves in front. The Wolves with the basketball as we start the fourth quarter. They have clearly been the better side so far. Jay, that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Well, the cardinal rule in the game of sport is whenever you go into the fourth quarter, it's 0-0. You have to play the game with the scoreboard saying 0-0. And if you can win that game by double digits, then you've done your job in the fourth.
Short jumper won't go down. Timberwolves have the basketball. To DiVincenzo. Teague. Kicks it outside. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Too easy. Defense has to communicate.
He's most definitely got the hot hand behind the three-point arc. Anytime your first-round pick is shooting like this, your GMs and owners just sit back and smile.
Wall across the timeline. The deficit now up to a dozen. Here comes the screen. There it is, John Wall. He's 3 of 5, 60% shooting from the field.
Bread and butter, and there are few that can do it better off the screen.
Got it.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Wall picked up by Teague. Here comes the screen. Wall. And that's rebounded by Minnesota. T-Wolves with the basketball. Bell to Towns. Karl Anthony Towns. Very efficient and making an impact. He's 3 for 3.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defenders.
Wall with it up top. 14-point deficit to Anthony. Beal. To Anthony. Gets it in the right corner. Anthony to Wall. And it's Towns there to get the rebound.
The game is won in the details. The team who has the most attention to the minutia is a team that wins the ball game. And from the beginning of this game, this team has been mentally engaged. I know the season's a long year, but when you come mentally engaged and you have attention to detail, whew, that's a scary thing to watch.
I got ball.
And the finish, slam dunk. Deep three at the buzzer. It's a victory for the Timberwolves as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
David Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Timberwolves were simply amazing in this contest. The competitive edge, obviously, came from the way they shot the three ball. In fact, a majority of their points came from long-range shots, and that's just an amazing statistic. Here are the guys who put up the most points for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wizards really lost big in this matchup, and you can tell it was tough on them. Losses like this become main discussion topics in the media. So hopefully this team is ready to answer the tough question. It's not going to be fun. Check out the leading scores for the Washington Wizards.
Game track. Field goals.
As you can see in the highlights, this team did a great job of staying competitive and putting in the necessary effort. to get the win.
Player of the game.
When you see these highlights, it's easy to see how this guy earned the award. His impact on the game wasn't lost on anyone.